Have you ever noticed how your brain seems to latch on to what's wrong, even on a day where most things went fine? One awkward conversation, one bad email, one uncomfortable memory, and suddenly that's the story your mind tells you. This isn't because you're broken. It's because your brain evolved to notice threats faster than comfort. But here's the interesting part. Gratitude, real practiced gratitude, doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how your brain functions. Not magically, not overnight, but measurably over time. Today, we're going to talk about why gratitude is good for the brain, how it connects to neuroplasticity, and why this practice isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about training the brain to stop living in constant survival mode. And no, you don't need to be a monk, a neuroscientist, or an eternal optimist for this to work. Your brain's main job isn't happiness, it's prediction. Every second, your brain is scanning for patterns. What is safe? What is dangerous? What worked before? What hurt last time? From an evolutionary standpoint, this kept us alive. But in modern life, this same system can turn against us. Because your brain doesn't distinguish very well between a physical threat, emotional stress, social rejection, constant low-level worry. To your nervous system, stress is stress. So if your brain spends most of its time replaying what's wrong, what's missing, or what could go wrong, it strengthens those circuits. This is where neuroplasticity comes in. Neuroplasticity is a simple idea with big implications. It means the brain changes based on what it repeatedly experiences. The thoughts you return to, the emotions you rehearse, the perspectives you reinforce. Neurons that fire together wire together. So, if your brain is constantly practicing stress, comparison, self-criticism, anticipating danger, those pathways become stronger, faster, and more automatic. Gratitude works not because it erases negativity, but because it adds new pathways alongside the old ones. It gives your brain something else to practice. Let's clear this up because this is where a lot of people check out. Gratitude is not ignoring pain, pretending trauma didn't happen, forcing yourself to be positive, gaslighting yourself into everything is fine. That kind of positivity actually backfires. Real gratitude is quieter than that. It sounds more like, this is hard and something small is still supporting me. Or, I'm struggling and I'm also breathing. Or, life feels uncertain and I made it through the day. Gratitude doesn't cancel reality, it broadens it. And that matters for the brain. When you practice gratitude, even briefly, several things tend to happen in the brain. 1, threat responses soften. Gratitude gently shifts attention away from constant scanning for danger. This can calm the stress response over time. 2, attention becomes more flexible. Instead of fixating on one negative loop, the brain learns there's more than one channel available. 3, reward circuits are engaged. Gratitude activates systems related to motivation and learning, not just pleasure, but meaning. 4, emotional regulation improves. You don't stop feeling negative emotions, but you recover from them more efficiently. Think of it like this. Gratitude doesn't stop storms. It improves your brain's ability to stop replaying them endlessly. Here's where people often get discouraged. They try gratitude once. They don't feel amazing, and they assume it doesn't work. But the brain doesn't change from intensity. It changes from repetition. Brushing your teeth once doesn't help. Going to the gym once doesn't help. Practicing gratitude once doesn't rewire anything. But small, repeated moments do. 30 seconds, one thought, one acknowledgement. Over time, the brain starts expecting these moments. It begins searching for them automatically. That's neuroplasticity in action. Gratitude isn't a cure for anxiety, depression, trauma, or chronic stress. And it shouldn't be sold that way. What it can be is a counterbalance. If your brain leans heavily towards fear, rumination, self-attack, future, catastrophizing, gratitude gives it a second anchor point. Not instead of therapy, not instead of medication when needed, not instead of real support, but alongside them. And that's why it's powerful. Over time, gratitude shifts your inner narration. Instead of, I never have enough, you might hear, some things are holding up for me. Instead of, I can't handle this, you might hear, this is hard, and I've handled hard things before. That voice isn't fake optimism. It's earned confidence built through repetition. And the brain listens to that voice more than anything else. Here's a realistic way to practice gratitude that doesn't feel forced. Once a day, ask, what supported me today, even a little? Not what was amazing, not what went perfectly, just a warm drink, a moment of quiet, a message you didn't expect, your body carrying you through the day. Name it. Pause for a few seconds and let your brain register it. That pause matters. It gives your nervous system time to encode the experience. That's how wiring changes. Your brain believes what you show it repeatedly. If you show it only danger, loss, and lack, it adapts to that world. If you occasionally show it support, safety, and presence, it adapts to that too. Gratitude isn't about denying reality. It's about teaching your brain that reality contains more than just threat. And over time, that lesson reshapes how you think, feel, and respond to life. That's not self-help fluff. That's how brains learn. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe so we can bring you more great content.